1. Extreme heat, impacts on body and mind, health risks and safety tips. 2. How extreme heat affects your brain and mental health, expert tips to stay safe. 3. Warning, how extreme heat affects your brain, cognitive health risks explained. 4. Heat anxiety explained, why is it spiking in India? 2025 insights. 1. Extreme heat, impacts on body and mind, health risks and safety tips. Your body and mind are melting faster than you think. Extreme heat doesn't just leave you drenched in sweat, it can kickstart a full-blown stress response that affects your emotions and behavior. But here's where it gets controversial. Some experts claim that sweltering temperatures are only an annoyance, not a true mental health hazard. Are they missing the bigger picture? Recent discussions with licensed therapist Carolina Pena of Parkland Health reveal that when our core temperature climbs, both body and brain go into survival mode. Physically, this means higher heart rates, tense muscles, headaches, and dehydration. Mentally, you may find yourself snapping at loved ones, spiraling into anxiety, or slipping into a low mood with surprising speed. Pena explains that our mind and body operate as a single system. When heat pushes our physiology into overdrive, it triggers the sympathetic nervous system, our built-in alarm bell for perceived threats. As your heart pounds, blood vessels dilate, and stress hormones surge, your brain's usual talent for calm reasoning takes a back seat. The result? Heightened irritability, difficulty concentrating, and even impulsive or aggressive behavior. And this is the part most people miss: prolonged exposure to high temperatures can erode your emotional resilience. You might start avoiding outdoor activities altogether, leading to isolation and the onset of depressive feelings. Or you could find yourself worrying nonstop about climate change and impending heat waves, fueling a cycle of chronic anxiety. But here's another twist: those with pre-existing mental health conditions often bear the brunt. Individuals diagnosed with bipolar disorder or schizophrenia, and people experiencing homelessness, who have no escape from relentless heat, face a real risk of acute episodes or aggressive outbursts. In these cases, the external temperature becomes an added trigger on top of existing vulnerabilities. Why does all this happen? Under extreme heat, your sympathetic nervous system commands your body to work harder to cool off, faster heartbeat, deeper respiration, tighter muscles. Over time, this sustained state of alert exhausts your brain's ability to regulate mood, judgment, and sleep. Toss in poor sleep quality due to nighttime heat, and you have a recipe for worsening depression and anxiety. So what practical steps can we take to protect ourselves? Pena offers a straightforward game plan. 1. Stay hydrated, sip water consistently throughout the day rather than gulping large amounts at once. 2. Seek cool zones. Malls, libraries, or grocery stores with air conditioning can serve as temporary refuges. 3. Tune into your body. Notice racing heartbeats or tense shoulders and use deep breathing exercises to reset your stress response. Slowing your breath actually helps slow your heart and brings down overall body temperature. 4. Upgrade your sleep hygiene. A cool shower before bed can significantly improve your rest and boost your emotional well-being. Just remember that extreme heat isn't only about melting ice cream or wilted plants. It's a serious health concern that reaches into your mind and emotions. Now we want to hear from you. Do you believe communities should treat heat waves as a public mental health crisis? Or is this overblown alarmism? Share your thoughts below and let the debate begin. 2. How extreme heat affects your brain and mental health, expert tips to stay safe. The scorching summer heat is not just a physical challenge, it can also significantly impact your mental health and brain function. Dr. Jace Reed, Director of Emergency Psychiatry at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles, emphasizes that the brain, being a major organ, is highly susceptible to the effects of heat. But here's where it gets controversial. Some experts suggest that the heat can even alter your brain's structure and function, leading to a range of mental health issues. Extreme heat can cause a myriad of mental health changes, including increased irritability, anxiety, and decreased memory, attention, and reaction time. These changes can affect your daily interactions, both socially and professionally. You might find yourself struggling to complete tasks or remember conversations, which could be early signs that the heat is affecting your brain and mental abilities. Symptoms like extreme confusion could be the beginning of a heat stroke, a serious condition that may require hospitalization. But it's not just about heat strokes. The heat can also increase oxidative stress and inflammation in the brain, potentially damaging neurons and worsening existing neurological conditions. It can even raise your risk of stroke. Excessive heat can also weaken the protective blood-brain barrier, making the brain more vulnerable to toxins and pathogens. Higher temperatures are also associated with disturbances in mood and violent behavior, especially during prolonged heat waves. Psychiatric emergency visits for anxiety, depression, and substance use also rise significantly on the hottest days. People with mental health conditions such as mood disorders, schizophrenia, anxiety, or even dementia are more vulnerable in hot weather. Some psychiatric medications can make it difficult for the body to regulate temperature or stay hydrated, while heat can intensify symptoms like agitation or paranoia. It's important to have patience with yourself and others on hot days. So, how can you protect your brain health in extreme heat? Stay hydrated, as dehydration worsens cognitive decline. Avoid peak heat hours, stay indoors or in shaded areas from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Use fans, air conditioning, or cool showers. Use blackout curtains and cooling bedding to ensure restful sleep. Ask your doctor if any medications may increase heat sensitivity. Use deep breathing and relaxation techniques to help manage heat-induced stress. And most importantly, stay socially connected, check in with friends and family. But here's the part most people miss: days are also longer and there are more activities, which can be exhausting. Therefore, it is good to prioritize sleep and rest, and find ways to slow down when you can. So, next time you feel the heat, remember it's not just your body that's affected, but your brain too. And this is the part where I'd like to hear from you. Do you think we pay enough attention to the mental health effects of heat? Or is it a topic that's often overlooked? 3. Warning: how extreme heat affects your brain, cognitive health risks explained. Burning brains alert: the blistering summer sun may be more than just a surefire way to work up a sweat, it could be stealthily weakening your mind. By Natasha Castillo. Posted July 4, 2025 at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Updated July 3, 2025 at 7:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Bloom Boost, Tampa. As you embrace the warm days and long evenings of summer, health experts are sounding the alarm. Prolonged exposure to extreme heat doesn't just sap your energy, it can also erode your brain power. Cognitive functions like memory recall, attention span, and reaction speed can all suffer when your core temperature climbs too high. You might notice you're more forgetful about everyday tasks, slower to respond in traffic, or unnaturally irritable when a simple conversation feels like a marathon. But here's where it gets controversial. Some researchers insist that most of us are underestimating how much damage those sweltering afternoons can do. Heat waves don't simply make you sweat, they trigger a surge of oxidative stress and inflammation in your brain tissue. Over time, that chemical assault can damage delicate neurons, aggravate pre-existing neurological issues, and even raise your risk of stroke. Imagine a student struggling to memorize vocabulary for an exam, or an avid jogger taking an extra second to brake at a crosswalk. Those split-second delays could carry serious consequences. Experts recommend practical steps to protect yourself: seek shade regularly, stay hydrated with more than just water, electrolyte-rich drinks can help, and take indoor breaks during the hottest hours of the day. Ever tried cooling towels or a quick dip in a shallow pool? These small measures can make a big difference in preserving mental sharpness. Controversial take: some specialists argue that society's obsession with outdoor fitness in peak heat is irresponsible, while others believe the benefits of fresh air outweigh the risks. Which side do you stand on? Is it time to rethink our summer routines, or are we overreacting to what's ultimately a manageable threat? And this is the part most people miss: the brain is far more sensitive to temperature spikes than the rest of the body. Protecting your mind isn't just about comfort, it's a critical step in long-term neurological health. We want to hear from you. Have you noticed your mood, memory, or reaction time slipping on hot days? Do you agree that extreme heat poses a genuine danger to our cognitive well-being, or is this warning overblown? Share your experiences and opinions in the comments below, and let the debate begin. 4. Heat anxiety explained. Why is it spiking in India? 2025 Insights. Are you feeling unusually anxious when the temperature rises? You're not alone. A growing number of people are experiencing what's being called heat anxiety, and it's becoming increasingly prevalent, particularly in India. This isn't simply about discomfort with the heat, it's a genuine psychological response to rising temperatures, and understanding it is crucial for our well-being. Heat anxiety, sometimes referred to as heat stress or heat-related anxiety, describes the worry, unease, or apprehension triggered by hot weather or high temperatures. When our bodies are exposed to prolonged heat, it initiates a stress response. Essentially, our fight-or-flight mechanism kicks in. This leads to a surge in hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Padma Shri Dr. Mukesh Batra, founder-chairman emeritus of Dr. Batra's Healthcare, explains that this hormonal cascade can manifest as anxiety, agitation, noticeable mood swings, and even disruptions to our sleep patterns. It's a physiological reaction with very real psychological consequences. What does this actually feel like? The symptoms of heat anxiety can be both physical and emotional. Physically, you might experience excessive sweating, a racing heartbeat, dizziness, or nausea. Emotionally, feelings of being overwhelmed, irritability, and general anxiety when exposed to heat are common. Many individuals begin to actively avoid outdoor activities or social gatherings simply due to the fear of experiencing heat-related discomfort. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this a new phenomenon, or simply a newly recognized consequence of a long-standing problem? While the human body has always reacted to heat, the intensity and frequency of extreme heat events are increasing, and so is the reported incidence of heat anxiety. Dr. Harini Aturu, senior psychiatrist at Care Hospitals, High Tech City, Hyderabad, points out that individuals already coping with existing mental health conditions like anxiety or depression may find their symptoms significantly worsen during periods of extreme heat. Importantly, even those with no prior history of mental illness can begin to experience emotional distress or heightened stress levels. Think of it like seasonal affective disorder, SAD, where a lack of sunlight during winter months can trigger depressive symptoms. Similarly, prolonged exposure to harsh summer heat can present emotional and mental health challenges. Furthermore, Dr. Kunal Kumar, senior consultant, psychiatry at Sharda Care Health City, highlights a dangerous cycle. Dehydration and heat exhaustion can produce symptoms that mimic or even amplify anxiety disorders, leading to a simultaneous decline in both physical and mental health. So, why is heat anxiety specifically on the rise in India? A study published in March 2025 shed light on the fact that the effects of heat on mental health in low- and middle-income countries, LMICs, which often comprise nations in the Global South, can differ from those observed in wealthier, Western countries. Populations in LMICs are typically exposed to hotter and more humid conditions on average. This creates a unique vulnerability. The study also noted a concerning trend: mental disorders have doubled in India since 1990, with approximately 1 in 7 Indians currently experiencing some form of mental illness. Critically, access to mental health care remains limited, with an estimated 80% treatment gap for common mental disorders. Projections from The Lancet suggest a 23% increase in India's mental illness burden by 2025, directly linked to climate-related stress. Recent research published in the Journal of Affective Disorders further confirms this, demonstrating that heat waves significantly worsen mental health among rural students. Dr. Batra reported that during the 2025 heatwave in Uttar Pradesh, hospitals saw a dramatic surge in psychiatric cases, 100 to 150 daily, underscoring the urgent mental health toll of rising temperatures. This rise isn't limited to specific regions. There's a clear increase in anxiety-like episodes, psychosomatic complaints, and mood dysregulation among urban and semi-urban populations exposed to sustained heat stress. And this is the part most people miss: the urban environment exacerbates the problem. Dr. Kumar explains that densely populated cities trap heat, creating what's known as the heat island effect and limiting access to cooler spaces. This intensifies psychological strain on residents, creating a perfect storm for mental health challenges. Adolescents and young adults are particularly vulnerable, due to increased hormonal fluctuations, the pressures of academic life, digital overstimulation, and feelings of social disconnection, all of which can worsen the psychological effects of heat. Children and the elderly are also at increased risk, as their bodies have a reduced capacity to regulate temperature effectively. Without careful management, this could escalate into more serious mental health concerns. Dr. Aturu emphasizes the fundamental connection between mental health and weather. As our climate continues to change, it's vital that we recognize the emotional impact of extreme seasons, not just the physical effects. Addressing heat anxiety isn't just a matter of public health, it's a critical intersection of public health and mental wellness that requires immediate attention from both healthcare providers and policymakers. What are your thoughts? Do you think enough is being done to address the mental health impacts of climate change? Have you or someone you know experienced heat anxiety? Share your experiences and opinions in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about this important issue.